Good afternoon, students. This is Ms. Estrada with your American Literature 1 online first 8 weeks course. So just as we've done before with week 1 lecture videos, this is just me going into the week 2, part 1 and part 2. That way you have a video to kind of help you navigate what all entails week 2, part 1 and part 2, and just going forward with due dates. I do the video early on, so hopefully you're able to see this in real time. I always suggest to try to look at the video as if we were in class. That way, if we were an in-person class, you have a video to go off of, not just content. But I'm going to start off on the homepage just real quick. It is the homepage. It's just that. Here you can look at recaps, announcements, any important details regarding due dates, if something were to change, if something was taken out. As always, reach out to me. I do only respond to your student account through my Hill College account, so please don't respond with Hotmail, Gmail, Yahoo. I seldomly get those, and I will seldomly reply back. I just wanted to let you guys know. One thing I will say real quick before we get started is while there is a work to do module, notice that I'll pull that up right here, and a calendar, they have great dates on there. They are set to the dates. But I want to say and reiterate this and stress this as if I haven't before, is always refer to what the syllabus or that assignment due date is. So once I click on content, it'll go to the week 1 or week 2 due date. Go by what that says, because while you can turn in stuff late within my class, as the syllabus says, you can always turn in stuff late even beyond your due date. Your due date will usually run a Monday morning to a Sunday night, as shown in simply the week 1 folder. So all your due dates will always run a Monday morning to a Sunday night at 11:59. Beyond that, you can still turn in stuff late. The system will allow you to turn in stuff late up to 4 days late. I just deduct points. But regarding this, so let's just say that you forgot a discussion board and you turn in something on Monday, January 26th. You are more than welcome to do that. I will respond and I will allow that up to the 4 days, but always refer to its specific due date. So let's go into the week 2, which is now what we're starting. So you may not see this. It should be live by the time you see this, but this is week 2. This is just my settings on my side saying that it's hidden until I fix it. This is the week 2, day 1 lecture sites whenever my computer decides to do that. So I'm going to open this up. Notice that you do have to click on the modules. And in the week 2 part 1 folder, it tells you what we are going to go into. So within the week 2 part 1 folder, we have our lecture slides. There is a video that I would like you to watch. And we're going to continue forward in our lecture with the colonial period. So you're going to be looking at a reading from George Fox, Ye Are Called to Peace. Be looking at a few of Anne Bradstreet's poems, Upon the Burning of Our House. And if I could find an excellent example of an audio clipping of that said text, I included it. So while it says Upon the Burning of Our House as a text, I also have it as an audio. That's why the list is a little bit longer. So go back in, and I encourage you, if you can and you would like to listen, if you're more an auditorial person, feel free to go back and listen to the poetry. I also have the Journal of John Woolman, just chapter 1. That's why it says selected text. And when you listen to it, just listen to chapter 1 audio. You're also going to continue on with Thomas Morton and his excerpt diary, Manners and Customs of Indians. Now, as you read these readings, after that, you'll go into the discussion board number 3, which is called Fantastic Number 4. And I'll go through these and look at the discussion board and what the discussion board questions entail. Because the discussion board is after you've read the readings. Ideally, you'll go back and answer questions about the stories and the works. And there's also a quiz 1. Quiz 1 is only over the stories, the text, the readings found in quiz 1. So it's as if we were in class, you would be reviewing that. So if it says only over week 1, you're going to go back and review week 1 stories. And then also included within this folder is the word count link. It's just a resource for you to be able to count words for your discussion board when they are required. Notice the due date for week 2. Okay, week 2 will technically start. I'm going to pull this up. Your week 2 technically starts on Monday, January 26th. If you're reading this in more time, I'm recording this on a Friday, so on a Thursday. I will try to always open up the folders for you as an online class as early as I can and get the readings done. So if you're seeing due dates, always pay attention to whenever it was open. I just try to do this early for you. But as we start off our day, Monday, January 26th, it will run through Sunday, February 1st. That's why the calendar will say something different. When it says the calendar may say something different, I'm just referring to what the module says right here. So always refer to what the assignment says. So overall, within the week 2 part 1 folder, as you're reading these texts, the submission form for grading will be these two things right here. Discussion board number 3 and quiz 1. I also would like you to continue to scroll to make sure that if there's anything else within that module folder, that you're not only seeing that. It also says the Unit 1 exam will open in the week 2 part 2 folder. So the next module after this, it will open only Thursday, January 29th and close February 15th. So that is a good stretch for you to continue in that Unit 1 exam. Because it's an online exam, I give you more than plenty of time to continue it. Be sure to know the following things. The authors that we've discussed in our folders as they are given, what type of form of their work, poem, sermon, diary, etc., letters. There will be matching, author to the work, word bank statements, true, false, short answer, a typical exam online. It covers only week 1 through week 2, part 2. It will be placed in the week 2, part 2 folder. So when you go to these modules, you'll find the Unit 1 exam in the week 2, part 2 folder. Refer back to it even as the due dates come in. So if we go into a specific day, always refer to making sure that you find the unit exam exactly where it needs to be. You'll be given 2 attempts. I grade the highest one, but mind you, I still have to grade responses that are short answer or written responses. The computer will automatically grade your multiple choice and your true false. So please don't get scared or overwhelmed whenever you see a low grade. I still have to go back in and reply to your own responses. But it will close right after February 15th. So for the Unit 1 exam, that will be found in the week 2 part 2 folder. After that due date, I will not open it, but just make sure that you are paying attention to do overlapping due dates, okay? So as we go into the folder, let's go into the actual assignments. So we have our lecture slides as if we were in class. So this is, gotta zoom out a little bit. This is week 2, part 1. So we have our first slide for the week 2, part 1. We have objectives as if we were in class and we would be meeting them. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I hope that you're able to see this. So we have week 2 folder content, reminder of the Unit 1 exam, if I haven't already said it, and the continuation lecture of the colonial era. Exactly how you would see it in the folder is how you would see it in Brightspace and on these lecture slides. The same things, the same readings, the same audio selections if you have them, and the discussion board and quiz. And it still has the same due date. So it also says the same thing. The Unit 1 test will open up in the week 2 part 2 folder. It will run through that approximate due date. A couple of questions long. Make sure to review. It's placed in the week 2 part 2 folder. I will not open it up past that due date because if you notice, that is a good stretch of at least 10 plus days to even turn in one exam. Please don't wait till the last minute to do so, and make sure that you have good internet access for that. So we continue on into our lecture of the colonial era. Got a nice pretty image right here. The time frame, early 1600s to 1750s. The reason why we call this the colonial era, it represents the time of British rule in North America due to the Puritan era and its influence on the Puritans. And then I really enjoyed this quote, so I wanted to put it right here. It's something that you also read in John Winthrop's excerpt. For we must consider that we shall be a city upon a hill. The eyes of all the people are upon us, so that if we shall deal falsely with our God in this work we have undertaken, so cause him to withdraw his present help from us, we shall be made a story and a byword through the world. Okay, and then we continue on with our lecture. The continuation. During this time, they wished to have their feelings changed by God's grace. They wanted to be cleansed of envy, vanity, and lust. They valued plainness, simplicity, especially in the church. They saw their upbringing of Christianity as a divine mission to convert many, many people. And in their eyes, they thought this was right. So they also had their own version of the commandments. And let's go through these. Thou shalt not miss church and community meetings. Thou shalt not work hard and support my fellow pilgrims. Thou shalt worship a strict and Christian God. Thou shalt put the Lord first in my life and obey his words. Thou shalt live by the 10 commandments as written by the Holy Bible. Thou shalt not dress in bright colors or dance in a wicked manner. Thou shalt not perform a witchery nor conjure the devil. Thou shalt not have any opinions or beliefs not held by the entire community. Thou shalt not build my house simply and not clutter it with decorations. Thou shalt not disobey these commandments or will be banished or will be hanged. So during this time, these were their commandments. This is what they lived and breathed by: church, God, and state, church, God, and state. And we have to understand that during this time, they also believed in different theology and promises in their upbringing. They believed in predestination, the idea that God knew where every person will end up in eternity. Puritans at this time believed that those who were blessed with wealth and prosperous families' lives were a part of those elected, the selected elect to go to heaven. This concept can be seen in Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God by Jonathan Edwards, which is a reading that you do end up looking at. They also had a prime worth ethic. The Protestant worth ethic during this time, the Puritans believed that hard work was a way of winning God's favor, and wealth accumulated through hard, honest work as seen in the sign of godliness and was encouraged by all Puritans. This Protestant worth ethic is a major foundation in the American way of life. So godliness is next to cleanliness. And we also understand that during this time, they looked at certain genres that appeared in their work, some of them that you've already read in week 1, such as diaries and excerpts. We look at sermons, religious poetry, historical narratives. They did not feel that literature was for entertainment. However, novels and plays were frowned upon due to perceived lack of practical religious value. And continuing on with religion and literature during this period, religious values were put above all else in every area of their lives. This led to a focus of practical literature, sermons, historical narratives, poetry. This also led to a certain style of writing and mirrored the Puritans' style of living. Themes were religious in nature and reflected Puritan values. So we're still on the colonial era. We're still looking at the Pilgrims' Reformation and how this movement was started. So it's always good to kind of go back in and understand, one, why it was so significant, but also the things that were needed during this time. So within our folder, we have our lecture slides. There's also a video that I would like you to read called When and Where Does America Begin? You would have to click on the video to click on it and view it. And then you continue in with your reading. So we have Ye Are Called to Peace by George Fox. We have Upon the Burning of Our House as a poem. And if you would like to watch the audio, listen to the audio, it's right here as well. The Journal of John Woolman, Chapter 1, as it's selected. I also have it as an audio just as Chapter 1. I think it continues forward, but if you would like to just only listen to Chapter 1, there it is. And The Manners and Customs of Indians by Thomas Morton. And these are all PDFs. They should be accessible and available for you to download, but they're there for you. I also have, after your readings, discussion board number 3, the Fantastic Four. So it even says, after reading some of the following, I would like you to answer some of the questions. So it tells you the reading and the author. And then it tells you, upon reading, I would like you to answer the following questions. So you are more than welcome to list all the questions as number, bullet, form, or you're just welcome to just answer them simply yes or no. If it's asking for a word count, that's where the word count comes in. You can copy and paste everything and answer to your own liking, or you can just put question 1 and then write your own response. And then it says post 1 is definitely you writing your own submission within your word count. So one thing I will say is you writing within your word count will always give you a 70. That's the starting baseline for any word count within your word count. Whenever you continue to use a word count with other people's replies, that's when your grade will go up higher. And if you need an example of how to respond to people, I've given that right here. And notice the due date Sunday, February 1st at 11:59. Since our class usually opens up a Monday morning at 8 o'clock, you get a whole week to continue this. And I'm going to just start this thread. You'll be seeing this in real time. Just test, test, test. And again, with any discussion board, you can make any subject line, any title line, font color, size, however you would like. As long as I'm able to read it and it's legible, it's fine by me. Now, I do understand that there's people that wait until the weekend to turn in discussion boards. Perfectly fine by me. If there's something that's closed or you don't have access, reach out to me so that it could be more of a bright space issue than it is mine. But I just want to make sure that everyone has access to that. Mind you, you will be able to see this. I'm just not opening it yet because I'm actually recording this a couple days in advance. So after you complete your discussion board, I'm closing out a lot of stuff right now. There's also, you're seeing the instructor point of view of this quiz, but there's one quiz and it's from week 1. So you're going to remember what you read from week 1, all of its contents, Walt Whitman. You have a couple of people in there. There are a couple of questions long. Quizzes are just that. They're just simple, short, sweet, and to the point. And the due date is February 1st. So you get 2 attempts with 30 minutes. If we were in class, the quizzes would be about 5 or 6 minutes long. So I give you much more leisure as an online class. And the word count link. This word count link is especially helpful for people that if you would need something to count your words for your discussion boards, if you don't have Google Doc or Microsoft Word, use this. I ask that you put it in here, but don't save it here because sometimes I've had people, it doesn't save. They just use it just to count the words and then go back in. But this is everything for week 2, part 1. Lecture slides, video, readings, George Fox and Bradstreet, John Woolman, Thomas Morton, discussion board, quiz, and word count. Okay, and then its due date is week 2, day 1 is Sunday, February 1st. So that's continuing on as if it was a part 1 of week 2. So we're going to take a moment and I'm about to open up week 2, part 2 for everyone. Go ahead and keep that. So this is week 2, part 2. So you should be able to see this without any delay. I just try to open this up early for you. So this is what's in our week 2, day 2 lecture slides. You're going to be reading The Last of the Mohicans by James Fenimore Cooper, reading only chapters 1 through 3. Wonders of the Invisible World by Cotton Mathers, selected text and audio. The Preaching Sermon, Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God by Jonathan Edwards, selected text and audio. And History of the Dividing Line by William Byrd. I also included the word count link for you. And almost always with readings by selected authors, there is a discussion board. Now, I also included, as it said in the syllabus, opportunities for you to earn bonus points. So here's an extra credit opportunity for you if you would like to take it upon it. It is not required. It's just something that just helps out a lot of people. By doing just this extra credit opportunity, you're awarded up to 7 points on your lowest grade. And your lowest grades are quizzes, discussion boards, or submitted writing assignments. So even just doing that will give you up to 7 points on your lowest grade. So there are extra credit opportunities embedded within the system. One thing I will say that if it's part of the syllabus, I'll try to give it to you. There are going to be some that are hidden around. I like to kind of sneak some in here during this announcement. So if you ever are actually reading the announcements, feel free to go back in. You'll probably see a couple of more opportunities pop up. But also, if we're an in-person class, I wouldn't want you to just be left alone like that. If I ever give an opportunity for a play that's being attended by the theater department here at the Hill College Hillsborough campus, or anything that is particular online, feel free to look for that, because then it's open to all my students, not just in-person classes. But these are definitely ones that I like to have you have. Again, it's not required. It's just helpful for a lot of people. And then the Unit 1 exam. Refer to its due date because it opens up on a specific day and closes on a specific day. That's not in relevance to the week 2 folder. So everything that follows the week 2, day 1 folder is everything but the unit exam. The only exception is the extra credit opportunities are due on those Sunday nights. This is not something that you can turn in late, and the extra credit submission module will say that. It even says that the Unit 1 exam will open up week 2 Part 2 folder. So the unit exam 1 is only found in this folder, and it covers January 29th through February 14th. Notice that it is a very long time, and I give you plenty of time to do so. So once you're done with it, you can just not worry about it, but then this is also for people to be self-paced in some areas of the class. And it covers week 1 through week 2, part 2. Okay? So let's go in, and these are the things that are found in the folder. For week 2, part 2, we have our lecture slides, The Last of the Mohicans, reading only chapters 1 through 3, Wonders of the Invisible World. Some of these are links and some of these are PDFs. Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God is a PDF. Some of these are links that you would have to open up. If you read this Preaching Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, I also included the audio if you would like to go back and look at it. Diary excerpts, it is a web link. I also have the word count link. Again, just like I've said before, it is there just to count words in case you need it. And then after you're going in, discussion board number 4 is Old World. It should say Old World, Old World Problems, New World Mentalities. I have to go back and fix that. And so this is what we're looking at. So after you're reading the selected readings, here are some questions that I would like you to answer. Okay. Questions 1, 2, 3, 4, they're all of them, 4, 5, 6, they all have to do with specifics. Some of these are just asking you, what did you learn from the specific audio if you listened to it, or what was your favorite one from that specific section? If they ask for specific sentences, go by sentences. But if a question asks for a specific word count, that's where you take that into consideration. And notice the due date. All the way down here, February 1st. If it's asking you to respond to people, just like I've said before, your specific post will always get you a 70 if you meet the word count for it. But once you reply to other people, that's where your grade will go up higher. Okay, and I've even included a way to reply. You can test it out however many things. I just put test so that you're seeing this in real time. But once you start seeing replies, you are more than welcome at any time to go back in and do so. Okay. There's also an extra credit opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and open that up so that way you can see it. I'm looking it up as an assignment. It's just that. It's just a submission box. If it allows you a text box or a Word document, you are more than welcome to do the Word document first and foremost. My submission module allows you to turn in a Microsoft Word document. But if there's a text button over here that you want to do, you're more than welcome to do that. And it's just this. In a paragraph of about 7 to 8 sentences, just answer the following questions for me, making sure that it's free of syntax and spelling errors, making sure that it's indented. However you would write a formal paragraph, I would like you to answer some of the following questions for extra credit. Again, it's simply just extra credit. There's no right or wrong answer. It's not required or anything like that. It's really just 7 points off your lowest, towards your lowest minor grade. What are some positive factors that you've learned while being in a college class? What are some negative setbacks that you've experienced or recognized during timed deadlines? And as a reflection piece, discuss what you could have done more to prepare yourself with or what you're wanting to improve in. So it's just a reflection piece. It should be open by the time you're watching this. And then the Unit 1 exam. I'm going to go ahead and look at a little bit of it so that way you have it. It's a unit exam. You're kind of seeing a little bit of the instructor point of view, but its due date is February 15th. It's from weeks 1 through 2 only. Do your best and take your time with it. Okay. So as we look as a whole, there's week 2, part 2 slides, just like I clicked on it. The Last of the Mohicans, Wonders of the Invisible World, Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, History of the Dividing Line, Word Count Link, Discussion Board number 4, it should say New World Problems, Old World Mentalities, Extra Credit Opportunity number 1, and the Unit 1 exam. Okay? And it also tells you the timeline for the Unit 1 exam, exactly how it said it in the Week 2 Part 1 folder, and how it covers it. Okay? If you have any questions up until now, feel free to reach out. I can always be reached by email, but if you ever want to set up a video chat conference, I'm more than welcome to. But this is always gonna be your go-to. I always want you to check these, just because what if I add an extra day or two for extended deadlines that are not posted in the syllabus? But I'm here to help you succeed, and I hope that you have a wonderful week 2. If you have any questions, my email is aestrada@hillcollege.edu.